Now, in the United States, president is only allowed 2 terms, and that's it. He doesn't get a third time. There's no continuation after that. Do you think it's time for a change? I've been hearing the whispers. People have been using saying, "No, hey, why can't presidents go continue in office? Why can't they just be voted out? Why do we have to switch presidents after 8 years if we feel like they're doing a good enough job?" Well, in your opinion, do you feel like it's time for a change to where presidents should be able to stay in office and get voted out versus 8 years and you're done?
Well, I think that is a very good question. It's like, yes, finally at the peak of Barack Obama's presidency, he's now hitting high rates of favorability from the people. We're seeing now the change where some of the initial policies he's implemented are starting to work. So you want to keep that going. But from a historical standpoint, when we have that of presidents that have held on to office a little too long, we can reflect back into the FDR days where a man was literally on his deathbed and going into his third term. And are we creating that of an oligarchy where we're actually just kind of setting up a reign for presidency? We need to have that of fresh new ideas, fresh legislative decisions. And I believe it should stay that it should be that of 2 years. But the way we keep those accountability factors in place is having the people be a part of the process later on and saying what's working, what's not. So again, we can kind of continue to keep that of the, but to keep in mind that of the basis of fresh new ideas, fresh new ways that could actually be a better perspective for every voice within the nation.
Now I want to talk Hillary Clinton. We all knew that this time would come where Hillary's going to run for office. She's going to make a good push for it. How do you think, in your opinion, how do you think she would be received from the people who've been held in seats all these years? You know, men has been the face and the voice and the person of the one that led our country in the White House. How do you think she'll be perceived being the first woman, first female president to run our country? How do you think she'll be received?
Okay.
Well, by her peers.
Yeah, and I mean, that is a question I think that's on the heart of many, and one that definitely needs attention and quick attention, because again, everybody has their own connectivity to why we vote, who we vote into office. But at the end of the day, for individuals that are maybe in office currently, they have to realize that it's not always the perception of a male that they represent within their districts. What about that of the life that brought them into the world being that of a woman? How do we also help make sure that of every voice is heard? And it just happens to be that this may be a great leadership style of having the very first woman president that's come into office. Maybe the hostility and hate and stuff. What about that mother's nurturing love and care and attention, that empathy that a woman may bring that can actually help shift the politics and everything to be realigned so we're able to effectively have every voice be heard. Now granted, any means as far as male, female, black, white, being a first, that is significant in its own of our country. Think about where we had that of the voter rights movement aligned with the civil rights movement. We also had the women's suffrage movement, and women fought for the same right to be able to vote. It is symbolic in its own nature that having Hillary on the ballot and prayerfully in office will be that of a great thing to show women can be equals. And it can be a parallel connection for those same fights where equal pay for equal work, where women don't have to fear being 77 cents to every dollar a meal makes. this is bringing in a bigger scope that us and the improvements we need can really be fixed.